Hey guys! Welcome to Couple. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. Peers seek to force Premier to stay in customs union with EU upper chamber also challenges on workers' rights, and Ireland UK Prime Minister Theresa May's Brexit strategy faces a renewed threat on Wednesday when her flagship bill returns to Parliament's upper chamber, where lords of all political stripes are seeking to amend it. A proposal to keep Britain in a customs union with the EU after leaving the bloc may pass by more than 50 votes, according to Diane Hayter, a Labour peer who sponsored the amendment with independent member John Kerr, former Conservative Party chairman Chris Patten and Liberal Democrat Sarah Ludford. May has rejected business demands that Britain stays in the customs union, saying it would prevent the government negotiating trade deals with other countries. Should the Lords back the amendment to the European Union withdrawal bill, the danger for May is that the lower chamber, the House of Commons, votes to retain it. That's because most opposition lawmakers and some of her own Conservatives also favour retaining a customs union, which would keep goods traded between Britain and the EU tariff-free after Brexit. If May accepted staying in a customs union, it would trigger a revolt by hardline Tories wanting a clean break with the EU. It's usually harder to knock something out of a bill than it is to put it in a bill, said Kerr, who helped draft the Article 50 clause that governs the Brexit process. He said he wants Britain to stay in the EU, but if we do leave, we should do it in a way that minimises the damage. May's headache: at least 10 Tories have backed an amendment to a different bill in the Commons calling for a customs union, enough on paper to defeat her in the lower house. That bill has been delayed. Customs will be the government's most immediate headache, said Mitch Rahman, a political analyst at Eurasia Group in London. May has promised the 60 hardline Brexiteer Tory MPs that she will not keep the UK in a customs union. But the rival 25-strong group of pro-European Tory MPs support the idea, and see it as their best hope of softening May's Brexit. Wednesday marks the first of 6 sessions in the Lords for the bill between now and May 8th. It isn't likely to return to the Commons until the second half of May, although no formal date has been set. Read more: May's Brexit red line on customs union could be next to go. It's still not clear how the government would react to a defeat on the customs union, and to what extent any amendments will force May to change her policy. At the very least, it will add to the pressure on her to execute a U-turn and stay in a customs union. One official said the government would likely oppose the amendment if it was sent back to the House of Commons. However, another said the clause only requires the government to explain what it has done to try to stay in a customs union, something it could easily do with no impact on policy. It's harder for May to get legislation unaltered through the Lords, where her Conservatives make up only 245 of the 787 peers. But because the body is unelected, the Lords often defer to the House of Commons if it rejects their amendments. Labour believes it has the votes to defeat May on a dozen or so amendments covering 8 topic areas, including the customs union. Other areas covered by cross-party amendments in the Lords seek to boost protections for the environment and workers' rights, limit the scope of so-called Henry VIII powers that would allow ministers to bypass Parliament in changing laws and regulations, go beyond a successful rebel amendment in the Commons in December that secured a meaningful vote for lawmakers on May's final Brexit deal by giving Parliament even more of a say over whether the Premier should seek a new deal or leave the EU. Without one, protect the peace process in Northern Ireland, remove the government's fixed Brexit day of March 19, 2019 to give added flexibility, facilitate future UK cooperation with EU agencies. All the serious amendments have got a Tory, a crossbencher, a Lib Dem and a Labour peer. The whole House has been covered, Hayter said on Monday in an interview in Parliament. I'm pretty optimistic that unless the government makes some meaningful concessions on some of them, that we should get them through. Keir Starmer, Brexit spokesman for the opposition Labour Party, said Wednesday he thought the House of Commons would be more likely to accept cross-party amendments coming back from the House of Lords than it had been to agree to Labour-sponsored changes in the Commons. The climate has changed, he told the Institute for Government.